Sure.
Which jersey?
Well, I know what jersey I want to pick. I want to know which jersey I want to be put over my head. But at the end of the day, it's not my decision right now. But
When you look back at your journey's not close over, but like this 3 years, exceptional status, pandemic, all the attention, like what do you look back on this process as? What has it meant to you? What have you learned about yourself?
I think I've grown a lot of maturity. I think I've really matured to the type of person I am, both on and off the ice. I think that a lot of things I've learned about myself, resiliency and facing adversity, obviously, with the pandemic and going through all that, and then facing pressures, expectations all this year. I think proud of myself for being able to push through all that and be able to grow as a person, both on and off the ice.
How tough was it?
It was tough. Yeah, for sure it was tough. I think that I obviously had experienced the pressures, expectations before, but I think not to that extent, not to that level that it was this year. So it was definitely tough. I think definitely some tough times for sure. But I had an unreal support group around me. Had a great group of teammates, great coaches, great family as well. So had a lot of good people on my side that helped me get through it all.
You were in the Montreal environment this morning, Rossard. What was the feeling when you were there, and you feel you could be there for a long time?
Yeah, I think so. I think that that facility is unbelievable, beautiful facility. I think that the fact that it was just a practice facility was kind of crazy to me because of the facilities and how nice it all was, and can definitely picture myself being there. Definitely something that I can see myself being there for a long time.
Did you visit for an apartment?
No, I haven't. No.
Shane, if the Canadians were to ask you or somebody else why you should be the number one pick, what would be your simple answer?
I'm someone who wants to win. I'm a guy who is going to bring that attitude, is going to bring that mentality every single day. I'm someone who I want to win Stanley Cups. That's my goal coming to the NHL is to win team championships. So I think that Montreal has really a lot of good pieces, really unbelievable coach, and a lot of really good people running their organization. So I'm someone who I want to win. I want to win championships. So that's kind of the mentality. That's what I'm going to bring to a team.
I know Vincent McCauley had a conversation with you recently. How much did that help you, or what did you gain from that conversation?
Yeah, really unbelievable conversation with him. Just kind of obviously he's pretty special player when he was playing, and be able to talk to a guy like that is pretty special. So just kind of going over his experiences. Obviously he was a first overall pick as well, and he understands kind of what I'm going through this year and what I went through this past season. So really great to talk to him. Great to talk to him about his experiences and what he's learned as well.
Shane, any player in your position, and many players in the NHL say they want to block out the noise. Okay. But it's human nature for it to be around you, and even if you want to try and block it out, it comes around you. Where are you at in the process of trying to find a way to focus on what matters most and block out the noise?
I think these last few weeks, after the combine, I think that it is just all noise. I think that all the work's done. I've played the hockey, I've done the interviews, I've done all that. So at this point, it's out of my control. There's nothing, I guess, nothing more I can do, if that makes sense, to influence that, because I can't play any more games. I can't have any more interviews or talk to them about or why they should pick me or all that. So I think it's I wasn't thinking about it less, but I think that I wasn't putting too much weight in it, just because there's nothing I can do now that can really impact my draft stock as well.
After the combine, you went to New Jersey with a couple guys to visit. What was that like for you? I mean, 1 and 2 aside, whoever holds that, what was that like visiting there?
Oh, it was great. I love New Jersey. I love being in the city. We were actually, our hotel was in Hoboken, so we were staying at it. So it was a pretty nice area there, and the facility as well. The arena is unbelievable. It's great facilities, great city as well, and had great talks with a lot of people from the organization. So yeah, it went really well.
What did you take away from what they're building, and how maybe you might see yourself as part of that, knowing that the core is so young and up and coming?
Yeah, for sure. I think they have a really solid young team. They have a lot of great young talent, and a lot of good pieces on their team, and they're an organization who wants to win and wants to be a contender. So if I'm lucky enough to be part of that, I think I definitely help impact their team for sure.
But on the flip side, how important is it to you, Shane Wright, to go number one? I mean, it's a valid question, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's obviously you want to be one. You want to be the guy who goes first. You want to be the guy chosen first. I think that's obviously what I want to be. I want to be the first pick. But if that weren't to happen, I think that I'm still being drafted potentially by unbelievable organization, still an NHL organization, NHL franchise, and I'll be more than happy with going there for sure.
Shane, for many years, you were touted as the #1 player of your draft class. And now some people have looked at you one game, maybe a month, maybe a week, couple of games here and there, and they're like, I don't know, I see this, I see that, I'm not sold on this or that. What do you say to those people who are trying to find warts in your game?
I think that anytime you have a player at the top, I think anytime you have a player who's, I guess, been considered as that #1 guy, there's always going to be people, trying to bring you down. There's always be people trying to, nitpick your game, trying to find those little flaws in your game, and to, I guess try to create, maybe controversy or try to create, a little more suspense, or I don't even know what the purpose is, but yeah, I didn't have a great year. I think I have high expectations on myself. I understand that, but I think that a lot of times someone at the top is always trying to people trying to bring you down, people trying to pick in her game and things like that. So I think that's just kind of what it was this year.
How much did this bother you? Did it affect you? People trying to find warts in your game and saying, I don't know anymore?
Not really, no. I don't really care what those people think. I think that at the end of the day, it's just like we were talking before. It's outside noise. It's stuff that I can't control what people are saying about me. I can't control what people think about my game, what people think type player I am, and all that. So what matters to me is what I think, what my family thinks, my teammates, my coaches, the GMs and scouts. That's that to me is what really matters and what's really important. So. I can't control what people say on media. I can't control what people say about me online. So it's really no point to worry about any of that.
Shane, you mentioned the noise. What's the best way to relax with 24 hours to go into this?
I think just kind of just take your mind off it. Maybe just hang out, watch a movie or something. Maybe walk around a little bit. Just kind of take your mind off hockey. Take your mind off everything that's going on, everything that's happening right now, and just kind of focus on something else for a little bit.
When you go back to your performance of the under-18s, playing with the best players around your, how can you qualify what that does for your game, how it shows your game, playing with players that are at another level?
For sure, yeah. I think that lucky enough to be a part of that team. I think that was a lot of fun being able to play in that tournament. I think that, like you said, it's the best players in the world for that age group, the best players at the age group. So be able to compete with and against them is also always something that's a lot of fun, something that's test your game and shows where your game's at. So it was definitely a really good experience for me.
Shane, there's a lot of pressure being #1 pick anywhere in the NHL, probably even more so in a market like Montreal. Is that something you've thought about and something you're prepared to handle if that does end up being the case?
I think a little bit. I think that, like you said, wherever you go, anytime you're a first overall pick or a high-end pick, there's always going to be pressure. There's always going to be expectations to succeed, expectations to, lead a team to a championship and to be, that cornerstone figure of the team. So, obviously, Montreal is there's definitely going to be maybe more pressures, I think, with the amount of media and, the way their fans hold accountable their players and all that, and with how passionate they are. But I think that's just kind of something that comes with the situation, comes with position I'm in, and the career I've chosen, the path I've taken to this point. I think that's just kind of reality of the situation. Nowadays with all the media and stuff, it's a lot more than it was back in the day. So it's just kind of reality of the situation.
Do you think the exceptional player status you've already dealt with helped you as far as what's coming ahead?
Yeah, I think a little bit for sure. I think that's definitely something that I took those experiences from that. Definitely learned a lot. About dealing with those pressures, dealing with adversity. I don't think it's I dealt with it to the extent that it would be in Montreal potentially with the media there, but it's definitely learning experience I can definitely draw from.
What were you like playing with Paul Lewinsky this year? Can you tell us a bit about his game?
Yeah, I love Luds. He's a great guy off the ice and on the ice. You see how hard he works. He's one of the hardest working guys on the ice. His engine's always going. He's always competing. He's always fighting as well, and he's a great teammate, great guy on your team, and I really like him.
Shane, I think to practice some French since being here down.
I haven't really yet. I only got in yesterday afternoon, so haven't really thought about that at all. Try not to get too far ahead of myself.
But you do have basic knowledge, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Walking around the city, have you started to wonder what it might be like to live here? To see the scene here in Montreal and all that?
Yeah, I mean, like we were talking about before, it's human nature. It's hard not to picture yourself there. Hard not to picture this being the city that I'm in, potentially in the future, and the city that I play hockey in. So, just just walking around, beautiful city, unreal city. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. What's going on here, and then you look out the window here and you see the water, the bridge, and all that. So I mean, it's tough not to picture yourself here.
Did your family drive here?
Yeah.
Did I see on Twitter there was like an incident with a police officer? Like Habs fan, police officer. Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah. So that's the story. So we were probably 5 minutes over the border into Quebec, and we see we see a cop on the side of the road. My dad's driving along, and nothing goes about it. And then he sees him kind of like drive past him, and then like the same cop, he pulled out, drove past, and then he kind of like pulled off to the side, like he was trying to look at the car, and then like, he pulled in behind us, turned his lights on, pulled us over, and then he walked up to the window and he said, "Sorry, we're looking for we were looking for a car that was involved in an accident earlier today. Matches the description as yours, just making sure it's all good." And we're like, yeah, we're all good. So he's like kind of looked over to me. He's like, "So you guys going to the draft? You guys going to the draft?" We're like, "Yeah, we're going to the draft." He's like, "All right, I just got to take your ID and go back real quick." And then so he went into his car, checked the ID, came back, and it was funny. My dad saw in the rearview window, the officer had his phone out. He was walking up. He said, "I'm sorry, guys, I have to take a picture." I'm a huge Montreal fan, Shane. I have to take a picture. So I got out of the car and took a picture with the officer. So yeah, pretty funny story for sure. Yeah.
Shane,
What kind of car was it you were driving?
Just my dad's car. Yeah, my dad does. Yeah.
JF has a question for you.
Yeah.
I think it's two. It might have one more, but in 1998, Vincent Lecavalier was in your shoes. When you're getting a call from Vinny Lecavalier, is it hard not to say? I know he's working for the Canadian with Ken Hughes, but is it hard not to say to yourself, okay, they might be drafting me if Vinny Lecavalier is taking time to talk with me? What was your feeling after that call?
I think a little bit, yeah. I think that anytime you can talk to a guy like that with the career he's had, and obviously he works for Montreal, and I think they're just trying to they're doing their job, right? They're doing their due diligence to make sure that they draft the right players. So I think that's all the call was really about. But also, it was also kind of learning about me, and I learned about him as well. I learned of his experiences and what he went through. So overall, really, really positive conversation.
What's the main thing you're getting from that call? In the past, Vincent was the owner of the Lightning, said he might be the future Michael Jordan, so it was not an easy task to do when you're a kid. What's the main thing you're keeping to yourself when you're thinking about that call with Vinny?
I think just he kept telling me just enjoy the experience, enjoy every second of it. That was something that obviously he went through all this being the first overall pick, so that was his big message to me is just soak it all in. You only get one chance to be drafted, so you really just got to enjoy every second of it. You got to enjoy going through the process, walking up on stage, putting that jersey over your head, and I think that's really the biggest message I took.
Did you have questions for him? Was it back and forth between you guys, or was it mostly him asking you?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, want to talk to him. Want to talk to him about his experiences, and obviously he was talking a little bit about it was a little different. He was going to Tampa, which was at that time a smaller market compared to Montreal it is now. So just kind of asking about that, asking about his experiences and how he dealt with all that. So.
Did you get advice from other former first-round picks in the last few months?
I wouldn't say like former first overall picks or first round picks. I think just overall, my agent was an NHL draft pick as well, so he understands what it went through, and just kind of I had lots of friends that went past during the draft as well, lots of past teammates, and then past teammates in Kingston as well that went in the draft past years. So just kind of drawn from their experiences and what they do.
You mentioned your dad earlier. Nobody gets to this point with a lot of help from their parents. What's the best advice your dad gave you?
Yeah, it's don't get complacent. Don't be complacent with yourself. Don't be complacent with your skills or where your game's at. Always push yourself. Always strive to be the best player you can be. And that's something that you told me when I was young, and that's always kind of stuck with me throughout the years.
On that theme, where do you think your development can take you over the next 2, 3, 4 years? So obviously, no one expects you to be a complete product tomorrow. So what is it that you want to focus on that will bring you to that image in your mind of what the complete shape right?
Yeah, I think that it's tough to say the exact potential. I think that that's something that you work towards. You work towards to be the best player you can be. You work towards hopefully being a top player on your team and to winning Stanley Cup as well. And I think that that's where I'm working towards. That's what I'm working towards to be. I think that I still got a lot of work to do. That's obvious. That's no one's perfect. No player's perfect, and it's definitely gonna be adjustment for sure with the speed and playing with older players and the physicality and the day-to-day grind as well and all that. But it's definitely gonna be a big learning curve. But I think that I really like where I'm at right now for sure.
Shane, if the Canadians draft you, obviously you'd want to be here in the fall. How would you handle it if they sent you back to January?
I think that if that's what they chose to do, if that's what they felt is best, then I would accept that. I think that at the end of the day, it isn't my decision. It's not my decision if they were to draft me. It's not my decision. I choose to stay up here, right? It's their decision. It's I'm a player on their team, so they choose what they want. So if that's the case, then that's what will happen.
Shane, in your opinion, in your opinion, if the Canadians draft you, what does Shane Wright think is the best thing for his development to play where next season and why?
I want to play in the NHL next year. That's where I want to be. That's where I believe I can be. I think that like I said, I have some work to do. I have to adjust to a lot of things to adjust to as well for the game. But I think that that's where I want to be. I want to be in the NHL next year. I want to be a player in the NHL, and I want to be someone who's a difference maker as well. I don't want to be just someone who's kind of cruising along. I want to make sure that I'm making a difference and that I have an impact on the team I play for.
Question.
Can you imagine that type of scenario after every practice, and can you enjoy media attention like Montreal?
I think so. Yeah, I think that the media attention is just showing that the people in Montreal care about you. They care about the players. They care about the success. They care about the success of the team. They care about the players winning and all that. So there's always pressure. There's always going to be pressure. I think that's just the reality of the day and age today with technology and media and all that. There's always going to be media and attentions and all that. With Montreal, it's maybe multiply a little more just because of the market and the incredible passionate fan base. But it's definitely something that I think I'll be able to deal with for sure.
You don't care how many you game in the past. It's crazy. Yeah. You must be anxious to answer different type of questions.
A little bit, yeah. I think that.
Starting tomorrow.
Yeah, that's all right. I think it's just reality of the situation, right? It's reality of you guys are doing your job too, right? You need to interview me and come up with stories. So whatever you need to ask, that's fine. That's fine.
We don't care if you stumble on a word.
Yeah.
Usually I don't. Usually I can talk. I speak pretty good English.
We can tell.
What's the best part of your game, you think, right now? Like, anything that stands out maybe about
I think my hockey IQ. I think the way I think the game, the way I process game, the way I make decisions. I understand where guys are on the ice. I understand situations, what to do with and without the puck, and I think that's definitely something that's brought me a lot of success and something that that's actually.
I know you had dinner with the Canadians. What impressed you about Kent Hughes? And I imagine Jeff Gordon was there also. What impressed you about those guys that you had or you didn't have?
Yeah, they're super detailed guys. They want to make sure they get everything right. They want to make sure that every decision they make and everything they choose to do is the right decision. So and they want to build towards the future. They want to build towards being a championship team. So really impressed by them and the attention to detail they have, and they're really impressed with me for sure.
Did you ever have a poutine in Montreal before? Did you ever eat that?
I've only been to Montreal once before this.
Okay.
I didn't have poutine in Montreal.
You're
no.
gonna have one while you're here?
I am gonna have to. Yeah.
All right. I've had about 1,000.
Where'd you recommend? What are some good spots?
La Banquise is very good.
Okay.
La Banquise would probably be.
Oh yeah.
When was the last time you were here?
It's good to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Good luck, man.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Shane. When was the last time you were in Montreal?
Like 6-7 years ago for a spring tournament here. Yeah, like a while ago, but yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Do you have meetings with teams like today or tomorrow?
No, no more teams. No more teams now.
I guess
Just get to enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Well.
Good luck, man. Enjoy it.